Today, I'm going to show you how I mixed the beat from yesterday's video. So, let's get started. The first thing I do as soon as I import the tracks into Logic, I'll organize them. I'll rename them if they need renaming, and I'll color them based on the type of tracks. So my drums are in this green color, my percussions are in this dark blue color, my bass is in this light blue color, my instruments are in this pink color, and the effects are in this dark purple color. And this is for every single one of my mixes. Before I start mixing, I'll set my audio interface to a level where it's not killing my ear. Then I'll play the track from the start to the end. Meanwhile, I'll take notes on what's already there and what needs improving on. And from there, I will know the approach I need to take to get the mix sounding how I want it. After I listen to the entire track, my next step is to gain stage. In Logic Pro, gain staging is actually easy. First, I'll select all the track. Then I'll go to region, see 31 selected, go down to gain. But before I start adjusting the gain, I'll go to my mix bus. Then I'll pull down the gain until the mix bus is hitting around -6. But in this case, this is just for my beats, because when I'm making the beat in FL Studio, I level each individual track to where it's not clipping. So when I bring it into Logic, all I have to do is just bring down the gain so it's not clipping the mix bus. So after gain staging, my first step in mixing is to level each track with the faders here. In my opinion, this is where you define your mix. For example, I want the kick, the snare, and the bass to be the main elements. In simple terms, they're gonna be the most dominant in the mix. And then I'll level every other element around them. So after I get my mix balanced, I'm gonna make a selection at one of the chorus. And turn on the cycle so it can loop. Then I'll start with the low end. So I'm gonna solo the kick and the bass, hit play to hear what they're doing. So when I'm mixing, I don't normally solo, but for the sake of this video, I'll have to solo so you can hear what I am doing. So I'm gonna start with the kick. On the kick bus, I have the SSL G Channel. I am not doing much. I am boosting 2 dB at around 60 Hz, cutting 2 dB at 500, and I'm also boosting almost 3 dB at 8K. And I'm also rolling off a little off the low end. So with that, it sounds like this. And for the bass, I have an R compressor and Saturn 2. Again, the compressor is not doing much. I have a medium to fast attack and a medium to slow release. It's on opto. The ratio is at 3. The makeup gain is at 3 also. And with it on, off, on, off. So for Saturn 2, the reason why I'm using Saturn is for small devices like phone speakers, laptop speakers, which doesn't have much bass. This would ensure that bass can translate through them. So it's gonna add more harmonics to the bass so it can be heard through those type of speakers. So with it on, off, on, okay. I also have Pro Q3 here. If you're listening on headphones and studio monitors, you can hear this. So because I want the kick to punch through more, I'll have to sidechain the kick and bass. So what I did is I send a signal from the kick to the bass. I then set up the sidechain in Pro Q3. So whenever the kick hits, the bass is gonna duck out of the way. I normally use a compressor to do this, but I didn't want the entire bass to duck, only specific frequencies. So with it on, it sounds like this. Off. On. Off. On. Okay, so from there, I'll add the snares. So on the snare bus, I have Saturn 2 and R compressor. But I'll get to those in a minute. So on the main snare, I have an EQ, which I am high passing at around 82 Hertz. Also boosting 4 dB at 140, and I'm cutting almost 3 dB at 267 Hertz. And I then added a limiter to bring it forward in the mix. So back to the snare bus. I added Saturn 2 to give more punch to the snares. Off. On. It's really subtle, but it's adding a little more punch to the snares. Then I added the R compressor. This compressor is for shaping the snare. I wanted it to sound more punchier and more tighter. So with it on, off, on, off, and for the hi-hat, I just added this multiband compressor just to tame the harsh frequencies and to give it a little more sizzle. So with it on, I didn't add anything to these two percussions, but for the clappy percussion, I added this channel EQ to tame the highs and this R compressor just to control the dynamics. And for this soda pop percussion, I added the vintage Verb to put it in a space. And with all of the drums, it sounds like this. Okay, so that's it for the drum and the bass. Now for the instruments, I didn't do too much for the instruments. I only added this compressor and the sax loop to control its dynamic range. Yeah, obviously it got a little louder, but that's what I wanted. And for the weird Vox thing, I sent it to a delay. And I didn't do anything to the piano. And yeah, that's it. Okay, so for the buses, I just added this API 250 just to add glue to the mix. I only have it on the drum bus and the kick and bass bus. I didn't put it on the instrument bus because I didn't think the instrument bus needed any glue. And this is how I mix this beat. If you like this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. If you have a question, please leave a comment down below. I'm out.